today. From Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, it's the AFC Wild Card Round on EA Sports. And the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns.
It's time for the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are in a city that sure had its share of memorable playoff games in the past. Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC Wild Card Matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
And, of course, this is his first start in the playoffs in his young career here in year 3. A little bit of an up-and-down start to his NFL career, but it all came together this season, and he rallied his team to the playoffs. And here's a great opportunity to go out and win not just one game, but a lot of games. No guarantees that you get back to the playoffs again in the future. He wants to take advantage of it right now.
First carry for Nick Chubb, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
First down, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper.
Mayfield's pass.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1 yard gain. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
The Steelers take over first.
And here comes Ben Roethlisberger out onto the field ready to lead the Steeler offense.
And this is one of the great stories of the NFL 2020 season, now into the playoff season. Ben Roethlisberger coming back from elbow surgery in 2019, hurt in the second game of the season. Not only did he make it back, He made it all the way back and took his team back to the playoffs. Big Ben, very tough in the playoff situations. 13-8 in his career, including 2 Super Bowl titles, but you have to go back to 2016 to record his last playoff victory. He's trying to get back in the win column again in this one.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Call it a gain of 3. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They know that. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January. But, hey, here's the bottom line. There's 18 other teams that wouldn't mind being in this spot right about now.
Yeah, and you had to stick it to them, didn't you? Those 18 who are sitting at home right now. But you're exactly right about that. Your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset at this point. How do they break it down so they're not looking at this whole big road and saying to themselves, we got no shot. You got to break it down to this game right now. Win this one, then worry about the rest of them after this.
12 yards there and a 1st down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the 1st quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 11.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield looking left side. That's caught by Landry. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Mayfield completes it to Higgins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
TJ Watt there on
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run.
And he takes this one in for a Browns score.
the ball carrier.
A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have taken the early lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. A 10-play drive that time. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So out now comes the offense back onto the field.
And they come in as the 3 seed in this, very likely the last home game of the season for them, even if they win this ball game. But while they would have loved that top spot and the bye that goes with it, they're still in a pretty good position.
Well, they certainly are, and let's face it, every team knows if they want to get to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to earn it. And even if you get the #1 seed, you know you have to win 2 games against teams. You're going to be riding high after big playoff wins coming at you.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And yeah, I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
That's good for a Pittsburgh Steelers. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Browns 7, Steelers nothing.
On first down, it's Samuels. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
Samuels, the ball carrier.
On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Joby on the tackle. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Ball carrier. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Mayfield on play action. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 19.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Mayfield on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. And again, it's Mayfield. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards there, first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Yeah, it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
A gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, it's Connor. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That's another.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
From just shy of midfield, Roethlisberger. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. He'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll rifle this one deep right side and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Holding offense.
Come on! You gotta be kidding me.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Brings up 3rd down and 8.
A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good.
The kick is.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Steelers 3.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield looking left side. He's got it. Complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Open man is Higgins. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A first down throw for Mayfield. And he will find his man on the outside. Mayfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Able to hit his target, Claypool. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's second down.
He was covered by Denzel.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball. But surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And finding the tight end Hooper. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
17 yards. First down, Browns.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So we're at halftime of this AFC Wild Card Matchup as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. The playoffs are underway. The first of 4 games this weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's remind everyone what we have to look forward to in tomorrow's action in the AFC. We've got the 4-5 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens squaring off against the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, nothing settled in our wild card game. It's a tight one as we get ready for the third quarter. Standing by to take you the rest of the way, let's get it back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC Wild Card game. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
Ben leaves to Connor on the draw. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards there and a first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Connor. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 36 yards, and the Steelers have taken the lead.
And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 10-7.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Returning it, Johnson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go play action. Mayfield. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Baker Mayfield sacked.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Now Mayfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Ebron with it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
10 at the 43-yard line.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And he'll find Hall. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Mayfield to throw it. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku there to make the grab. And once again, the Browns are back in front.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now
now Parkey for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 31.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And what a pressure spot for both sides, really. But they're at home now. They have the football here in the playoffs, sort of controlling their own destiny.
It's a spot they've all dreamed of. This is where you want to be. Home, have the ball, a chance to win the game, control your own destiny, as you noted. But here's a...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Following the interception, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
From the gun, Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. That's Hall.
Mayfield's.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. The Browns on 3rd down. They've had good success. 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They run. Chubb. And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mayfield, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
A gain of 16 on the play. But
the Browns on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland 1st. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. T.J. Watt. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mayfield has got Hooper on the short connection. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Mayfield now. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Stephon Tuitt drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39. And out will come the offense as they take over. So Big Ben and the Steelers now down 14-10, 2:25 remaining. A touchdown likely means they move on in these playoffs. Tense moments for the hometown faithful as they've got it with a 1st down. He'll try and run it. And he'll be out right at the 35. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Steps away to his left. He'll run it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
He's forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
9-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Trying to get the 1st with Samuels. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the 1st before he's brought down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 2nd down. Here's Roethlisberger, eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a 1st.
25-yard line.
Back to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get this down to the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down.
And the Steelers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run with Samuels. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal.
Roethlisberger to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
How many people watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. He's got it. And this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Mayfield. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete.
Now they burn the timeout, and they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.